Hi, Remnant friends. I want to share something with you today that I will hope will encourage you. It did me years ago. I never realized it till a few years ago. But the text is found in Luke 16, verse 10. It's one of my favorite texts. I've told my wife, Deb, that if I die, I might even want that on my tombstone. And it says, "He that is faithful in that which is least will be faithful in that which is much." What really does that mean? Well, let me share you a little story. When I was younger, probably about 10 years old, maybe 12 years old, my father had a construction company, and we built a lot of buildings, and we built houses, but we also built pole buildings, which was more for farmers and agricultural. Now they build garages. But anyway, I remember that being young, and I had a hammer, and you set these poles in the ground and put 2x4s on the poles. They call them side purlings to put steel on. Well, anyways, I would have to hammer the nails in those boards, those 2x4s. And those were called ring shanks. They were about like 5 inches long. I mean, 5 inches long is like this, 5 inches, that's a big nail. And I'm pretty small, young whippersnapper at the time. And I took that hammer and I'd be pounding away. And you know what? My arm would get tired before long. I would be pounding all around the nail. For some reason, I never could seem to hit the head, about 1 every 4 times. And I'll never forget, one of my dad's workers came up to me and said, "Hey, Dwight, I know now why you're hitting the board around the nail." And I looked at him and I said, "Well, why is that?" And he said, "Well, because you're softening up the board so the nail goes in easier." And that really, I have never forgotten. It's kind of funny. It wasn't funny to me at the time, but it became funny. And I want to share this with you. The reason that this is so important is because as I was growing up, we was building a house now, and I want to go nail on the siding. Now, with you that knows that I missed the nail more than I hit it, how many of you, if you had a house and you wanted it built, would you want me at that age be pounding on your siding and making divots in the siding? And my dad came up to me and said, "No, son," because I kept begging him, "Please let me nail, let me nail." And he said, "No, son, you need to practice that. But do you want to be important?" And I said, "Well, yeah, I want to be important." And he said, "Then I want you to go into that room and I want you to sweep it and make sure you do a good job." Well, I wasn't very happy because I thought, well, there's sawing in here and I'm going to sweep everything up and it's going to get dirty again. But if you knew my dad, you would obey him. So I obeyed him, but I didn't do a very good job. And so when I got done, I told him I was finished, and he came in and he inspected it. And he said, "Son, you did a lousy job. I want you to do it again." And I said, "Well, Dad, what makes a difference? It's just going to get dirty all over again." And he said, "If you can't even do a good job on this, how are you ever going to do a good job nailing the siding or anything else? If you want to be important, son, do the small things. Those are the real things that matter." And I have never forgot that. That's why this Luke chapter 16, verse 10 makes so much sense. "He that is faithful in that which is least will be faithful in that which is much." So don't be alarmed, or don't get upset, or don't be discouraged if you cannot do great things in your mind, what you think is great things, because what we think is great things and what God sees as great things are usually totally different. There is a quote here in my Bible that I have on this text. I have a Remnant Study Bible, and so it's in that little blue box. It says, "There are few who realize the influence of the little things of life upon the development of character. Nothing with which we have to do is really small." Isn't that pretty cool? It says, "The varied circumstances that we meet day by day are designed to test our faithfulness and to qualify us for greater trust." So don't forget, we need to learn to be faithful in the little things, because like the Bible says, if you cannot be faithful in the little things of life, you're not going to be faithful in the big things of life, no matter how much you think. So remember that, and keep in touch and let me know how you're being faithful in those little things. Until the next time we talk, God bless.